Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for Alpha 4 of Update 110 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off, as always, with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, I have been continuing to work on our institution level, but it's been a bit exhausting, so I decided to take a little break for part of this week and throw some new guns in, because it has been a little while. So let's go ahead and look at the first one of those. I have for you this week a slightly unusual sort of set of AK pattern weapons for you. I know a number of you have been asking for it because we've got a whole bunch of modern ARs. And so the first one I have to show you is the RK95, a Finnish AK with just this awesome, sweet black finish on it. Love that detailing on that magazine. Pull this back here. This has some of the newer handling and shot audio that was produced by Joe and his assistant and myself over this past holiday that I have been waiting to use. So we've got this absolutely gorgeous iron sight. Like, that is such a clear, easy to align aperture. Wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. Its magazines are AKM compatible, so you can throw the AKM drum on here, and of course it will show up in take and hold with everything down from the 10-round tactical modern ones to this up to the drums, so you should see it plenty. And I believe this one is in... Is this in the post-war or is this in the modern category? I'd have to look at the metadata. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Might be modern. Yeah. Points and shoots wonderful, very easy to control. Has the dovetail mount on the right, so you can totally pop on a Cobra or pop on a Picatinny adapter there to pop whatever sort of optic on the top as you want. So is that... Oh, looks like I have a little bug there. That sight aperture should switch between a, I believe it's a 150 and a 300 with a narrow aperture, but I forgot to tag it, so that will get fixed later. Wouldn't be a devlog without a little bug. So there you go. And then the next one that we have is a very unusual one. This is the M78, has severe RPD vibes to it, and basically the idea of behind this one was it was a prototype for a military rifle that ended up only being distributed as an export model. It fires 7.62 by 5.1, so you've got these big, chunky, straight mags here. It has our more classic Russian open iron sight style that goes from 100 to 500. So not quite as clear as our aperture ones here. Let's reset our target. But it is beefy sounding. A little harder to control on full auto, obviously, and we're only at 15 meters here. We've got a welded together 30-round mag here, which is just sweet. I adore the finish on this. Just the way this catches the light. The wood looks gorgeous. Oh, just a wonderful piece. Oh, and importantly, the carry handle does work, so we can carry it from here if we want, making it easy to, of course, flip out the bipod like such for sustained fire. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Just a delight to put these in. It's one of those things that I will work on some other part of the game for a long while, like levels or systems, and then I will come back to implementing a gun, and I'm immediately like, oh, this is so much fun. I wish I could just spend all my time doing this. But of course, we need more content. We need more things to play in. So that is what the focus is right now. Which, speaking of, I'm going to actually jump over to the to our institution preview level and show you one quick thing. Remember, if you're checking out the institution preview on the alpha branch, the tile for it is right here. And we're over in the preview, over in our north tram station. Now, one of the things that I had asked you folks about last week was about dark sections of the level like this and making sure that they were properly legible. And the one thing that I got sort of repeated feedback about was that the dead ends were just too dark and you could not see them. And so what I've done is I've added an ending light here that sort of visually distinguishes them at a distance from being sort of, if you see bright light here, you have an intersection or a vertical transition, and if you see red there, you see a dead end, which means likely there's going to be a port off to another part of the vent. And so let's actually traverse all the way through this to the other side of the vent. Oh, this just feels so awesome in here. Reflection probes are cool. Oh, whoops, look at that. We have, seriously, a culling issue. I'm going to try to fix that before the update today. It was visible, and then it disappeared on us. Huh? Oh, we can see it. We can see it. And now we can't. Yeah, this is some occlusion, and it's appearing and disappearing. Even more exotic. Well, at least the reflection isn't going away. Yeah, that is so strange. Appears and disappears. This is why I can't. Oh, it's the whole end of it. I thought I fixed this. This is occlusion culling is so difficult to fight with because I'll move a test camera around in the scene. Everything will appear to be fine, and then I'll actually run it and build, and it will be busted. So. Anton knows what he's going to be fixing in between filming this devlog and releasing the update tonight. That should be fixed, though. But yeah, if you want to, beyond that, I think all of the other lighting is working well, which means that over the next week, this scene is probably going to transform or be temporarily replaced or something along that lines for me to test out some of the other tile sets. I've made huge progress this past week involving the east quadrant of the level, which is called Power. So those of you who've been following me on Twitter have seen the epic hydro dam room that I have been working on. I'm not putting it in game until I've got sound for it because so much of the impact of it is going to be sound. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the next week, is getting the next set of testing content for this level in, as well as getting some content related to our competitive take and hold character in. I think I've decided I'm going to actually start testing the character itself on the classic hallways level before this is done, just so that I can stagger all the new stuff and the feedback I'm going to be getting from you folks. Anywho, well, let's go ahead and pop out of VR. Yo. Just a quick section outside of VR for the other couple little things that are in this update, aside from little fixes in the institution preview level. We've got 3 more cartridge model replacements that have gone in. So the 35 Remington, the 4.6 by 30 millimeter, and the 5.7 by 28 millimeter cartridges have now been replaced and updated to modern lux. So, of course, everyone send their thanks to Stefan, who is just grinding through these slowly. I know it's probably not the most exciting work on the planet for him to do, but we are slowly migrating all of the game's cartridges up to, a modern visual standard, making them consistent, making sure they're dimensionally accurate, and just as pretty looking as possible. So, but yeah, beyond that, as I just said, I'm going to be continuing to grind away and focus on the level itself, and there's going to be, I think I've mentioned this in past devlog, but there's going to be some structural changes to take and hold that are going to be coming in the big update with the new level, and I'm going to be field testing a bunch of those things first. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is doing a main branch release with update 110 fairly soon, just because I don't think there are any sort of major code or breaking changes that should mess with anyone, and it has those take and hold loot pool fixes in it. And then we'll start up a new experimental cycle, because a couple of the changes that I need to make for Take and Hold are probably gonna break some mods for a little bit. So that'll be back onto the experimental branch, and then the mod makers can fix what has busted there, and we can sort of collectively do surgery on it, and then move it back to alpha branch for our ream of exciting Take and Hold fixes and additions, new encryptions, which I need to finally finish, our competitive character. It's going to be fun. So, anywho, I hope you are all trying to stay cool, as we are now officially in the heat wave part of the summer. And I will see you all next weekend. Peace.